Well, YouTube family, Ashley Bastock, Cleveland reporter, said some interesting things about the QB competition heading into training camp, and Shedeur Sanders has been locked in. Also, the Cleveland Browns SI has their breakout top 5 players that could break the Cleveland Browns out of the basement. Now, this is Reese Wheel, Sports Talk. Like and subscribe, hit that notification bell to let you know when I upload a video, and let's tap into it.
Among the Cleveland Browns, if the Browns were to win this game at home.
Now, Cleveland Browns SI, top 5 breakout players who could break the Cleveland Browns out of the AFC North basement. This is the article that they put out yesterday. These 5 Cleveland Browns players could finally pull the team out of the AFC North's basement. For a long time, they go into the article talking about all the different scenarios we went through in the past couple of years. But at number 1, they got Shedeur Sanders as being one of the top 5. Sanders might not be named Cleveland's number 1 starting quarterback, but there's no denying that the 2025 5th-round draft pick is the best path forward for the Browns. He's widely popular with the fans, showed some promising flashes during his first 7 starts, and has a day 3 rookie salary that will allow the Browns to invest in their cap space elsewhere. Not to mention, with all of the extra draft capital the Browns received from the blockbuster Myles Garrett deal, Sanders alleviating Cleveland's need for a franchise quarterback would allow Barry to complete his rebuild with an exclamation point. So this is, and it's basically talking about the rest of the guys. Quinshawn Junkins is the second one at running back. Mason Graham, D tackle. Isaiah Bond at wide receiver. And Spencer Fano at left tackle. And them are the top 5 that they think they could help the Browns get over the hump and get out of the AFC North basement. Also, we got Jason Peterlin and Nick Wilson interviewing Ashley Bastock, the Cleveland Browns reporter, and she gives her take on the quarterback competition coming up in after the minicamp and going into training camp. Let's take a listen. She says some interesting things too.
You have that long ramp up, so we're in the home stretch. We're almost there to it.
Well, as we get close in on the home stretch, I am interested to find out what people's reactions are going to be between Shedeur versus Deshaun. It does feel right now, people think Deshaun's got the leg up. As we enter this, do you feel like that's accurate, that right now Deshaun is ahead of Shedeur?
I don't feel like that's accurate, just because it felt like we left minicamp with the opposite sort of being true, that Shedeur Sanders really came on strong over the last few weeks. And I said at the time, I think the fact that Todd Monken declined to name a QB1 on that depth chart, really declined to place anyone as QB1 on that depth chart, because he could have done that and just not named that person, but that wasn't the case. He doesn't know who his QB1 is going to be yet. So that, to me, is actually a win for Shedeur Sanders, because I definitely think early Deshaun Watson looked like the guy who was ahead. The fact that he didn't close out that competition for me by nature is sort of a win for Sanders, and I guess fans who would like to see Shedeur Sanders get that chance to start.
Ashley, it very rarely goes like this for the Cleveland Browns, but let's do a pie-in-the-sky version of this. If everything goes right for whoever wins the job, what do you see as like the max you can get to for Shedeur this year? And what do you see, I'm talking about for their individual play, and what do you see as the max that maybe Deshaun Watson can get after a couple of years of not playing?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's tough just to gauge, knowing Shedeur only had those 7 games under his belt last year. So, right now, I do kind of a little bit consider them on equal footing for a handful of reasons. Like you mentioned, Nick, the fact that Deshaun hasn't played a full season and hasn't played in a game since 2024, hasn't played in a full season since 2020. That's a major knock on him. What kind of maybe elevates him back up is his familiarity with this type of offense, this type of system. Shedeur Sanders has the inexperience, but we know he sort of did a really good job, I think, of passing that initial eyeball test as a rookie where, you know, folks throw out some of the numbers. And again, those numbers were only in 7 games, but you watched a guy who could do some of that extending plays, could make flash plays. There's enough interest there. But the thing working against him is still that sort of question mark and lack of experience. So for me, like, the ceiling for this team kind of remains the same, barring some like sort of, man, Deshaun Watson is in complete 2020 form, which I think would be hard to get to given the age, given the injuries, given the time off. I would say about 8 or 9 wins would be the absolute ceiling for this team right now, and given all the other unknowns too.
Ashley Bastock just laid out a reality, and some fans or some media may be in denial. We are officially in a timeline where Shedeur Sanders, a 5th-round pick who was thrown into the fire last year, is pushing a $230 million quarterback to his absolute limit in minicamp. And really, Shedeur, when he stepped on the field last year, he passed all the eyeball tests. He was extending plays, making flash throws, and showing some real grit. And that's stuff you really can't teach. And he didn't back down. And now, because of Todd Monken refusing to name the QB1, it's a big statement. The coaching staff is undecided, and Shedeur is out there making some decisive plays and bridging that gap. We know Watson is a veteran and he has experience in his favor, but if this kid, this young fellow, is pushing him to the limit, that says a lot. And if he don't recapture some of the things that he had when he was before he got hurt, Watson could be in some serious trouble as far as keeping his job or being the QB1 of this year's team. Let me know what you guys think. Appreciate y'all. See you on the next video.